Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. Whoever is watching us, if you're watching us for YouTube, LinkedIn, or AD Playlist, thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to have you. My name is Juliet, and this week we are talking all about portfolios, um, how to display and show your work, either if you are an engineer, a user, UX designer, a product manager. So we are super excited with all the guests that we brought in this week. Let me share a little bit of what is happening. Okay. Uh, so we have this initiative that is called the Summer 2024 Job Readiness Support Space, where we have 6 weeks where we are breaking down a lot of content about job readiness. We just finished last 2 weeks the self-assessment, the confidence building. If you haven't watched those back, go back to our YouTube, our LinkedIn, and then you get to see Clea talking about strengths and who are you as a unique person is going to help you a lot while you're looking for a job. Last week we talked with Christina about confidence and soft skills and storytelling, and this week is all about is portfolio development. Today we have Aisha about portfolios for engineers. Then on Tuesday we will have Janine, and Saturday Anna. So how to stay updated to all of these, make sure that you follow us in LinkedIn and you sign up for the events. Let's have our guest speaker of the day. Hello, how are you? Nice to see you.
Hi Juliet. Nice to see you as well again.
Yeah, so excited to have you here.
Yeah.
Uh, what is really cool about all our guest speakers, they've been helping us as mentors in our previous cohorts. So
hmm
it's super cool to have them in a different space this time as a guest speaker and
Yeah.
sharing all their knowledge with us. Why don't we start telling people who are you?
Yeah. Do you want me to share my screen first with the
Yeah,
slides?
let's do that. Perfect.
Okay. So just because it's my first time using this platform,
Yeah.
um, bear with me if anything goes
Okay. I should
crazy.
have practiced this in the second.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask for that.
But it's okay. I'm going to try. So yeah. Okay. Can we see my screen?
Yes. Okay, let me see. Let me put it in. I feel like I have it
Okay.
on top of that. Perfect.
Okay. So is it visible enough? Like,
Yes, yeah, yes,
yeah.
yes. Bigger
Perfect.
than
Okay.
us. Perfect.
All right. Okay. So yeah, my name is Aisha Yusuff, and today I will be sharing some tips on how to showcase your skills in a software engineering portfolio. So we have a quick agenda. Right? So I would first introduce myself, which Juliet wanted me to do earlier, but yeah, just to give you like a quick agenda. So introduction, and then I'll be telling you why portfolio is important. It's important to have a portfolio. Then I would also share some key components that make a good portfolio. Then I would move on to some tips about design, user experience, and some more things to know. And then I would also show some of my favorite developer portfolios because I believe seeing is more it's more visually appealing. And then I will be sharing some common mistakes to avoid. And if we have any Q&A, then we can move on to that.
Love
So,
it. Thank
all
you. I'm going to hide myself, but I'm going to be here if you need me, okay?
right, great. All right. So, actually, I can't even see the screen because I'm a full mode, so it's fine. So yeah, my name is Aisha Yusuff, and I'm a full stack engineer. I s- have a background in biochemistry, so I have a BSc in biochemistry and MSc in clinical biochemistry. And I made my switch into tech towards the end of 2021, but I fully transitioned into the industry around Q3 2022. So yeah, career switcher with about 2 years professional experience. And towards the end of 2023, last year, I got laid off from my first role, which I got from a bootcamp when I transitioned. And that was when I realized that I did not have a portfolio. And I wanted to do something to stand out in the market. So towards the end of last year, I decided to join this coding community that was called Women Will Code, and then they had this 30 days of JavaScript challenge, which I joined and built my portfolio. So some of the things that I would be sharing here are the things that I gained while building that portfolio. So you would be learning something from me. So, for example, the importance of a good portfolio, especially as a new software engineer, and what should be included in a standout portfolio. So, what you should have in a portfolio to make you stand out more, and the things that you should also consider when building your portfolio. Great. So, yeah, why is a portfolio important? So, ideally, whenever you apply to a job, your first point of contact in that job is the recruiter. So, in the context of software engineering, a recruiter would have some technical knowledge, but naturally, they are not going to ask you what you would do to write clean code or how to make design decisions. So, you need to make a very first good impression. And the best way to do that is to show them that to show them something visually. So what you can do engineering wise, show them visually. And that is, for me, one of the reasons why a portfolio is important. And then also, a portfolio is a way to demonstrate your technical and soft skills. So you can visually show them the technical side of things that you're familiar with and also some of the soft skills that you have. And lastly, it gives you a competitive edge in your initial job search stages. So again, back to technical recruiters, whenever somebody goes onto your CV or your LinkedIn, for example, and they see a link going to your portfolio, it's easier for them to click on your portfolio and see all the things you've put to your CV in a more visually appealing way via your portfolio. So these are some of the reasons why I believe your portfolio is important. Then moving on to some of the key components of a good portfolio. So these are some short, concise things that I believe should be in a portfolio to make it stand out more. So, for example, first of all, you need to have your professional biography. So, this should always be as succinct as possible. And my general rule of thumb is to demonstrate where you're coming from, where you currently are, and where you're looking to go to. So, in my case, would be, oh, I am a career switcher. I have a background in so and so. This is what I currently do. I'm a full stack engineer now, and in future, I'm looking to work with companies that would help me grow my skills as a full stack engineer, both in front end and back end technologies. So that's a pretty general overview of what I would call a good professional biography. And then a portfolio should have your contact details because you want them to be able to contact you. So generically, you have your email, and the email that you include in your portfolio should be an email that you check every day, preferably, so that you don't miss anything important. And then your LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a popular job searching platform. And as a software engineer, your GitHub page would also demonstrate, your skills because it shows your personal projects, things you've contributed to, and your social media platforms, but only if you share technological content. So, for example, if you tweet about your journey as a software engineer, or you post videos on TikTok or Instagram, things like that. Then your portfolio should also include your resume or your CV. And I have found that there are two interesting ways to do this. So you can ideally put it as an external link in your portfolio or incorporate it directly into your portfolio, depending on whatever way you want to go. And naturally, your skills and technologies that you're familiar with. So your skills would be your soft skills and your technical skills. And the main gist of every portfolio is your project as a software engineer. So just showcasing projects that you've built personally or some of the ones that you built professionally. So, for example, if you've built a website for random business or somebody that you know personally, you can ask them if this is something you can include in your portfolio and then just showcase some of these things that you've worked on. And lastly, community engagement. I feel like this is often overlooked in a way. So yeah, community engagement would be if you write technical blogs or articles, then definitely include that because you want to show off your skills. Your portfolio is not a place to be modest. You need to show off as much as you can. Then if you've participated in hackathons or and won hackathons, then definitely show off. And my personal favorite, if you've contributed to open source projects, then definitely include this as well in your portfolio. And last but not the least, call to action. This ties back to including your contact details. So you want to encourage potential clients or employers to reach out to you in, I guess, in a very fun way. Just encourage them to reach out to you. So yeah, those are some of the key components that I believe a good portfolio should have. Now, this design, user experience, and more is a segment that gives like an icing on the cake. So it gives the finishing ribbon. And these are essentially things that I believe would make a portfolio stand out more. So, for example, your portfolio should have a clean and professional design. So you don't want to overload your user or your visitors with too much information. You want it to be as clean as possible and have a professional feel to it. So whenever you are in doubt, always go with black and white. And I will demonstrate some of these examples with when I show you some of my favorite developer portfolios. And there's also a platform called Coolers, which I found out about a few years ago. So this platform helps you generate colors for design. So some colors that go well together, it just generates it for you and then gives you the code. So you're able to better find it. Then another thing to incorporate is intuitive navigation and just easy design, easy navigation around your portfolio. So a good example is using commonly known icons for simple tasks. So for example, you want to have hamburgers for your menu, you want to have arrows to demonstrate the direction that you would want the user to go to. So these are pretty common things. Then you also want to be deliberate about including mobile responsiveness and accessibilities because there are so many different people with different abilities and they're going to be viewing your portfolio on different devices. So you want to be deliberate about including that. And last but not the least, you want to choose a suitable hosting option based on the level of complexity that you want to go for or your budget. So some common platforms would be GitHub Pages and Netlify. And I personally host my portfolio on Netlify because it's free. You can use it freely. And if you want a more personal touch, you can purchase your own personal domains. So I'm going to escape this so because I want to demonstrate some of my favorite developer portfolios. So are you still with me, Juliet?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Loving it so far.
Okay.
I hope that one of your favorite portfolios is yours. I love it.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So I'm going to, yeah, this is going to be a bit of demonstration because I want to show, some of the points that I've raised. So yeah, this is my portfolio. And if you recall, I mentioned I built this when I was doing a 30 days of JavaScript project. So I built it simply using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript precisely, no frameworks, nothing. And I kind of went with that idea of when in doubt, go with black and white. So I didn't want to do black, so I just had this nice bluish, greenish color. And yeah, so essentially everything that I've mentioned is easy to navigate. Intuitively, I know to over this menu. Then I have a link to download my CV and a call to action for people to contact me. And then also more contact details with my LinkedIn and my GitHub. Then I can scroll down, it smoothly glides to the next page. So this is a brief professional biography and it kind of shows where I'm coming from, what I'm learning, where I'm looking to go to, essentially. And then there's an icon that shows the direction, like where the user wants to go. So user intuitively knows to, move on this direction, this arrow, it goes to the next page and it goes to the next page. So this shows some of my projects. I have links to GitHub and also for the ones that have live demo, you can also click on those. And last but not the least is my contact me. So you can reach out to me directly via LinkedIn or email. So yeah, one of my favorites. And then also there's one from this person called Brittany. I really like this portfolio because you can see when you hover anywhere on the page, you have this illuminating thing, which is really nice. And then again, contact, there are so many different places to contact this person. They have a succinct biography, and the experience is pretty unique. So you click on the arrow for experience, then you see their CV like experience. So this is an example of incorporating your CV directly into your portfolio. So this person currently works here and they've worked in different places previously, but they also include a link to their full resume. And you can see the arrow is pointing out. So this intuitively shows you that you can point out. You can like this clicking on this link will point you out of this website. So I think that's really cool. Yeah, and they also have personal projects that they've worked on, and yeah, just really nice design overall. Then more portfolios, which yeah, I really like these portfolios.
Love it. Yeah, and I love that you are showing exactly your the tips that you gave us and how
Yeah.
do they look like in different spaces.
Yeah. So this portfolio, easy, black on white. It's just really simple. And then there's this icon here for the sun. You kind of intuitively know that you can go on dark mode or light mode, which again, very intuitive. So links to reach out to them, and again, arrow pointing out. You can go to their about me page. This is also really nice because when you over this, you can get a glimpse of them. They have a short biography and ways to connect with them, and also examples of them incorporating their CV directly into the portfolio. Lastly, well, no, lastly, two more. There's also one from this person called Abdul Malik. I really like this portfolio as well. It's pretty intuitive. You can toggle on this and you kind of just know that it goes between each of these modes. They have their projects as well. You can reach out to them. This person has a form to reach out to them, which I think is also a user interactive way of getting people to, you know, carry out an action. And I think my personal favorite of all these external portfolios, aside from my
The
own,
second favorite, yes, that's what I was going to say. Second favorite.
yeah. So yeah, this portfolio also has like different icons, so to intuitively like click on it. It goes between the screens. Then, but one thing I like about this is that this person has created the portfolio to look like a Twitter feed, which is very cool. You can actually follow them on Twitter if you click on that, and then you have all the typical Twitter features. Then you have the about me page, so a nice succinct professional biography, ways to reach out to them, so many different ways to reach out to them. But what I also like about this portfolio is that they show some of the articles that they've published and some of the places where they've spoken. So these are very detailed community engagement um, examples. So yeah. And last but not the least, all of these platforms are mobile responsive. So I'm just going to demonstrate that. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, see, I love it. Mhm.
So yes, so this example of definitely they incorporated all of mobile responsiveness and accessibility. And I'm also going to go back to my portfolio to show that I also did that as well. So you have the hamburger menu that I mentioned earlier. If you toggle on this, it opens up. But yeah, this and all of the portfolios that I showed have the exact same thing. Good mobile responsiveness. So yes, let's go back to our presentation. um, yeah, so one thing that I really want to focus on in this talk is open source contribution, because this is something that I'm personally working on. So I feel like it's good to share. So yeah, open source contributions are a good way to show your technical skills and your soft skills all in one. Like you're just focusing on one task, but you're achieving so much. So what you would normally do as a software engineer in most of your day to day, except maybe if you work in a startup, most of the things that you'll be doing would include you reading legacy code or code from your company and then picking up some tickets or tasks and writing your code and then creating a pull request to the master branch and then getting somebody, your colleague or your team lead, to review the code. And then, depending on whether or not it is accepted, you merge that into the master branch before you push it to production. So that's the typical experience. And this kind of sums up what you do with open source contribution. So when you find a project that you want to contribute to, you read through the code to understand what the project is doing, and then look at some of the issues that they've raised, and then you write the code, so clean code, good code that doesn't break the project, and then you create a pull request communicating with them on what you've done. So good communication on what you've done, and then the maintainers of the project would, depending on whether or not good code, accept it and merge it into the master branch. So essentially, you are doing the exact same thing that you would normally be doing in a professional setting. So yeah, I've included some platforms, some resources to help start your open source contribution journey. So there's this introductory video from a community called Frontend Queens. So I will be sharing this PDF with Juliet after the talk so that she can share it with people in the community. And there's also another community called Women Coding Community, which they have a good myriad of open source projects. You can scan this QR code to see what the projects are like, and also join the community because these are very good ways to ensure that you stay connected. And there's also this nice short article about starting your open source project contribution journey, essentially. So, are you still with me, Juliet? Just because I can't see you.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. No, because my Wi-Fi messes up, and I want to be sure that it's not currently messing
I
up.
will come to the rescue, whatever happened. I'm here on this side. I'm here on this side.
Okay,
I just
cool.
wanna everybody see you because I'm not saying anything. So that's why I
Yeah.
disappear.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, last but not the least, some of the common mistakes that you should avoid. So the first being overloading your audience with too much information. So all of the portfolios that I've demonstrated, they incorporate this. So they have minimal information, just enough that the audience need to know who they are. So you don't want to overload them with too much information. Simplicity is key, both in your design and the content. Then another common mistake is lack of clarity. So you want to recognize your target audience and cater to them specifically. So I'm going to escape this and demonstrate that in as this. So this person has a blog, and this blog essentially leads to where they've written all of these articles. So they've created their portfolio for any potential client or employer, and they've included a link to their blog. So kind of separating the audience, right? So you want potential clients and employers to see your portfolio, and you want them to know that, oh, you have a blog where you share some things, but your audience for the blog is separate. So you don't want to do all of this in one place, essentially. Then not including call to action is also a common mistake. So you want to include call to action at every point in time, using icons to show how people can reach out to you, using direct words. So for example, in my portfolio would be, oh, contact me, and also, oh, reach out to me, get in touch to contact me, essentially. So call to action as many times as possible because you want your potential clients or employers to reach out to you. Another common mistake, and this was something that I also struggled with when I started building my portfolio initially, is lack of mobile responsiveness. So I find that most software engineers that just starting out, whenever they want to build like projects or just their portfolio, they kind of start with building for the laptop or your desktop and then incorporate mobile responsiveness later. But I find that the best way to go about it is to incorporate a mobile first design, because most people view your portfolio on mobile phones or just smaller screens in general. So you want to adapt your portfolio to suit this before and then move up. So start with mobile and then what is it called? Tablets and then laptops, so bigger screens. And last but not the least is bad user experience and too much text. So everything that has to do with text should be relegated to your CV and your cover letter. Your portfolio is to visualize those things, right? So you don't want to have too much words. You want to do more showing rather than telling. And including very good user experience also improves the journey through your portfolio. So I feel like that's something that this person did with this illuminating feature that they've included, and also just the over icon. So you get the cards. Yeah, so these are ways to improve the user experience. So yeah, these are some of the common mistakes that I believe should be avoided. Last but not the least is question and answer. So if there are any questions, please let me know. But otherwise, thank you for listening.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much. And I mean, I feel so jealous with developers. Oh, this is me. This is me. Hold on.
Yeah,
I got
you're
it.
here. Yeah.
This is me. Um, because developers can like, I want to do this, and then just boom, 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 and then just do it. So I feel like that's again a good way for developers to demonstrate what they can
Mhm.
do by creating their own portfolio. We
Mhm.
do have questions. Thank you for that. Okay. Um, Here, they always come so small, but what advice would you give to new developers that do not have as many personal projects or external contribution to show in a portfolio?
So first of all, your portfolio is a project on its own. So I wish I could share my screen again. But when I in my own portfolio through the projects that I listed, I included my portfolio as part of my projects. So if you are building a portfolio, that's already a project that you have, and joining communities like the women coding community as well is also a great way to join initiative to build more projects, because I know, for example, that front end queens, they do this regular sprint like initiative where they give some designs out and ask people to just like build projects, and then you get to share them at the end of 2 weeks. So these are ways to get into the habit of working on more projects. So joining community is super important, but the fact that you're starting out with a portfolio is already project enough. So yeah,
Love
with
it.
open and also obviously open source contributions. So even if all you're doing is rewriting the README page of a project, it's a contribution. Just include it.
I love it. And I feel like this is something that we were talking with Christina. Uh, I mean, I just talked to her on Friday about storytelling and
Yeah.
how are we telling what we have done. And I feel like for a lot of people, sometimes it's like, oh, I, this little thing, and I don't know if I should put it on. But then if you say, I did this amazing thing when I went and contribute, and this is what I did, is such a different way of telling your story. So
Yes.
is believe that what you're doing is important and you are learning from that
Yeah.
space. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I feel like that's a big one. Okay, another one is what advice we oh did I no I did I put the same one? Oh, I put the same question. Hold on, they're so tiny. Oh here, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Should new developers wait until they build enough before considering building a portfolio, or how is the best approach to that?
No, I definitely think again, your portfolio is a project. To be honest, start. So if you are a back-end focused person, so you don't have too much like front end experience. I know there are some platforms. I know I didn't include it in the presentation, but there are some platforms that you can just use templates to host your project. So there was something I did because I'm a full stack engineer. So I have both front end and back end projects. So there was something I did where I just put in a screenshot of my back end project and then put a link to my GitHub. So then if anybody sees that on my portfolio, they go to my GitHub. So in essence, it's a backend project. You can't, I mean, you can use platforms like Heroku and Co to, or Swagger API to write like documentations for your API and include that. But even just showing a link to your GitHub repo is enough way to just do. Like, don't wait. Definitely do not wait, because you can update it when you build more projects. So just start.
I feel like that's a good one. I feel like that's a good way of like I have something, let's just keep adding and adding, and then
Mhm.
as you get more, then you can take something away and then add the new projects coming in. I was thinking, would be
100%.
okay if you take us to one of your case studies. I don't know how do we call an engineering portfolios case studies too for the when you have your projects, or how do
Um,
you call them?
I didn't understand the question.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So for UX designers, when we have our portfolio and we have
Okay.
our projects, we call them like a case study. But I feel
Ah,
like for
case study.
engineers, a
Yeah,
little bit different.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the designers. It's a bit different with. I know
Okay. Okay.
designers do case studies, but a good way to show the concept, like what you've done, what the project is about, is in your GitHub repo. You can write up all of this in your README file. So there's
Mm,
usually a README file, like a Markdown file that you can include for every repository, and then just include like screenshots. Oh, this was the thought process. This is what this project is trying to achieve. This is how, if somebody wants to contribute to the project, this is how they can recreate the local version in their own machine. So the best way to do that is just do a readme file, or in the case of a backend, you can do an API documentation. It's a good way as well.
okay. Yeah, and I feel and I love this because again, all this week we are going to be talking with different folks about different space of portfolio. So today
Yeah.
again is software engineer and I'm learning so much. And again,
Yeah.
I'm so jealous because all the portfolios are so pretty and so cool.
Yeah.
Um, but then I love that we can differentiate how to show the work for each of the roles,
Hmm.
because that's at the end of the day is different people who are going to see them. Yes.
Yes.
So we have to display the information in a different way. But
Hmm.
I was asking, do you think that you can show us from your portfolio into like how you have the project and then how you go into your GitHub and show those
Yes,
pieces?
I can certainly do that. I'm going to share my screen again.
Yes. Yeah. Share your screen and then I can show it here. Oh,
Okay.
I feel like I can show it. I feel like you just, oh, there you go.
I'm
I
going to
feel,
send you a screenshot, the file, just so you have it as well.
oh, yes. Okay. Here.
So
Let's look at it.
yes, can you see my screen?
Yes, we're showing your screen.
So this is my portfolio. I have a link to the live demo, and this link literally just comes back here. I
Yeah.
just redirected it here. So I can do that. Well, it just comes back here. So you
Love
see.
it. Okay. Yes.
So yeah, but I can also go into the GitHub, which is where my code itself is.
Mhm.
So yes, this is essentially what it is. I just have a very short description. It's a portfolio project that uses HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And oh yeah, this was the README file I was talking about. So you can include all of the things that you want to include here, including ways for people to recreate it. I did not do that clearly. And then you have all of the codes. So yeah.
Love it. Yeah. And I mean, again, oh, let me,
Okay. Okay,
I
great.
hide it. Um, yes, again, for us, and again, if we were talking with UX designers, we
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't show a GitHub because there is nothing for us there to show. But I love that for you as an engineer is not just to say this is where I put all the information about my project, but I have used GitHub in the past and I know how it works. And this is,
Yes.
I feel like again, it's a way to show your skills in a different spaces of tools too.
100%, because when you are able to also show GitHub, shows that you are familiar with version control, which this is what we do in the technical field. In an industry setting, this is what we do.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's a way to demonstrate that you can do something is by showing it. Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like at the beginning you were talking a little bit about the different people that are going to see your portfolio.
Yes.
Um, how do you organize the information so different people, again, maybe it could be like the recruiter, then they could be like the lead engineer, then could be like the PM. A PM could be looking at your portfolio because they're going to be working with you. So what kind of information do you put around your portfolio for different users find information about you?
So, first of all, I think an engineering manager or a tech lead is probably going to be looking at your GitHub to see what kind of code you write. So, this is why it's, the landing page, like have icons or like a way for them to reach you. So you see that from some of the portfolios I demonstrated, most of them have links to their GitHub. They have it very up on the screen. So because if you want an engineering manager or a tech lead to look at your portfolio, they'll probably just get into your portfolio and then click on your GitHub link because I mean anyone can design something. Let me see the kind of code you write, I guess. But a technical recruiter, it's more visual. Like, no, they're not going to go into your code. So, I mean, I don't think they would because it doesn't really help them do their job. So, yeah, for them, it would be more your bio, your professional biography, your CV. These are things they want to see like easily. But I guess if you're applying to a job, you probably send your CV first. So you probably need to put your portfolio in. So it's a circle. So everything is linked to one another. I guess for like a PM would be your soft skills. So the way that you've interacted with people. So open source contribution is a good way of showing this. It shows that you're able to interact with different people. Um, Platforms or initiatives like Cherry on Tech, the mentorship that we did is a good way of showing this because you had to relate to different people across different cross functional. It's a cross functional team. So your mentor, your UX designers, developers, PMs, all of those things. So yeah, I guess just like you said, it depends on storytelling, and unfortunately, some people are good at storytelling than others. That's why people learn skills, I guess. So yeah.
I love that. I mean, you don't need to be like expert at storytelling. You just need to
Hmm.
go for it and practice, and then you will get there at one point.
Yes.
Thank you for the explanation for each of the different people that are going to be looking at your portfolio, because it's important to be clear about that
Hmm.
when you are presenting your work so you are able to cater for all of them. And again, those call to action, I feel like they're so important when you have that portfolio piece, so you can send it to your GitHub or to the live side so people can see what you did. I feel like that's one of my biggest learnings from here is make sure that people can get to all the places that you want to send them.
Yes, definitely.
And maybe, okay, maybe here. How can a software engineer effectively demonstrate their problem solving abilities and technical expertise through their portfolio?
I mean, unfortunately, there are some skills that they would test in person. So, like a coding skill, live coding challenge thing, which everybody hates. Well, I personally don't like, but you just have to get good at it, unfortunately. And that happens with practice. So, you are going to fail. I'm just that's the side thing. You're going to fail a, a bunch of live coding challenges, and then you pass one, and then you get a job. That's usually how it works. But yeah, so I think for that, the best you can still do is to demonstrate your projects, your personal projects. And again, open source contribution is probably the most I guess valid, like strong way of showing this because it doesn't just involve you, it involves a lot of people across different projects. So the maintainers of the project are going to look at your code, communicate with you. Oh, this is what this issue is trying to do. Oh, you probably didn't do this well in this code. Oh, this is probably something you can change to get us to accept your PR request. So yeah, that's probably the best way you can show that. But building a project, writing out your thought process, your own personal project is still a way of solving a problem. And then a good way I think might be fun is showing that you do. So there are some things they call like. So I'm trying to remember the name of the platform. I think it's called I can't remember, but essentially these are platforms where you can go in, solve algorithm questions. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know why I've forgotten this. This it's very popular. Most software engineers, all software engineers probably know this platform. But these are places you go to get algorithm questions and then solve them, because most
Mm.
of the times when you do live coding challenges with a job like an employer, they'll usually give you an algorithm questions to
Oh,
solve.
here, Jovita is giving us lead code. Is giving us the
Yes, lead
answer.
codes. Yes. Oh my god. Oh, did I forget that? Lead codes. Yes, lead codes. There's
Yes.
also another platform that I think I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I forgot all
We
of
have
this.
friends. We have friends here that can help us. Okay, you keep going
Yeah.
and they will tell us.
So
Yes.
lead codes, I personally had issue. I was very scared of lead codes when I first came into contact with it. So there's a more like easier platform that you can start off your algorithm journey with. I've again,
Okay, Jovita is saying hackers rank.
yes. Oh my god, I love
Look at
Jupiter.
this. This is
Hakarang.
a great game. You can just bring
Yes.
Jovita and you two can play
Hakarang.
like these games. I love
Wherever
it.
you are, I absolutely adore you. But yes, Akarang, this was the way I started. So I started off with Akarang. It's very easy way to ease into it, show off your problem solving skills. So if you've gotten badges on Akarang, lead code, put it in your portfolio. This shows your problem solving skills. Like nobody's going to debate the fact that you got your badges on these platforms. So
I love this.
yeah.
And I feel like I don't have anyone for uh, like a presentation for the end. Like on week 6, we're going to do a lot of one-on-ones, and one
Okay.
of those, I'm definitely having like a director of engineer. They're going to be talking about the process that engineers go through. But I feel like it would be beneficial to have someone to go through like a, uh, oh my goodness, now I forgot the word. Um,
The job
What do you
search.
do as what do you do as a code when you're
Oh,
engineering? Oh my goodness, I just forgot.
um,
I just said it. A
life
core
coding
review, like a core
algorithm.
review kind
Oh,
of
okay,
idea.
algorithms. Okay, okay.
Yes, yeah. So I feel like maybe that will be good. I feel like engineers will like engineers, developers would like to have like a how to do like a how to
Algorithm.
do it, what not to do, any tips. You think that that will be valuable? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it would be valuable, but I don't have a lot of experience with
That's
algorithms.
okay. No, no, I'm just
But
throwing it
I
here
enjoy
into the air to see who comes to me and say I
exactly.
will do it.
Yeah, I enjoy peer coding. So if you want to solve algorithms together, definitely I'm down for it. But I know that if you're like me and lead code is very scary, start with Akarank because Akarank makes it easier to get into. Lead code is a lot.
I see. Okay. Oh, good. I'm going to find someone for
Yeah.
our week 6. I think that will be like a great way to help out and make sure that when you have the interview, everything goes well. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's a
100%.
lot of practice,
It is a
practice,
lot of
practice,
practice.
practice. Yes,
Yeah.
like I feel like this is the same advice that I will give to absolutely anyone in UX design and PM and developers. Even though I don't know about what would you do as a developer, as a PM,
Mhm.
practice will just make you better at any space.
And I think, unfortunately, as women or like just non-binary people, minority people, you there's that level of expectation that you have for yourself. So I failed a lot of my first life coding challenge. It was horrible. It
Yeah.
was really horrible, but it got better because I had to do for my current role. I had to do a 3 hour live coding challenge. So it
What?
was no, it was fun. Trust me, it was probably the best one I've had like
Yes.
ever.
Okay.
It
Wow. 3 hours
was
is
really fun.
intense.
But so it was spread across different sections. So it wasn't just coding for 3 hours. I would have hated
Mm.
it. But there were some that I did that was just 1 hour, and I was just too nervous because people are looking at your screen and looking at your code. But it gets better with each practice. So it just gets better. So
Love it.
don't be scared if you keep failing it. It's practice.
Yeah, practice. Again, failing just going to give you the opportunity for you to say, "Oh my goodness, I just learned this. I think I can
Mhm,
improve and do it better in this way or that way." So
mhm,
failing is just learning in a different way, and
mhm,
is for you to be aware about
mhm.
that. That
Yeah,
yeah, if you will, it will suck. That would change. I think that would change.
it
That
wouldn't change. You
would
probably
change
cringe
anything.
every time you remember that. Oh my god, I forgot to close the bracket of the if statement. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
anyway.
exactly. But then that is you were aware about it, and then next time that you come in, he's like,
Mhm.
okay, I will try not to do the same mistakes. Let's do it better until
Yeah,
you get into that space where you feel more comfortable.
yeah,
So love it. Thank you so much. This was so good. Thank you for the presentation, for sharing about the tips, your favorite portfolios. I will be sharing those in the summary of or in the YouTube
yeah,
and LinkedIn videos so everybody get to see them.
yeah. I'll
But
send it.
where do people can find you?
LinkedIn. I'm mostly active on LinkedIn, mostly because I get notifications in my email, which you should check every day. But yeah, mostly active on LinkedIn. Everything career wise, LinkedIn.
Perfect, love it. And uh, again, if you want to keep learning about portfolios, on Tuesday we have Janine with how to show your portfolio for product managers. And on Saturday, we're going to have Anna for UX design. So I feel like even if you are not any of these roles, you were going to learn a little bit different of how to
Hmm.
show your work that is really powerful. I feel like you today say a lot of stuff about UX into a portfolio
Yeah.
that is going to be valuable for absolutely everybody. So yeah, just come and join us. Next week, oh my goodness, I should know what is happening next week. Um, I have so much going on. Oh yes, next week I'm excited about this one. Next week we're going to have Monica. She's going to help us about resume and linking optimization. So this week
Oh,
all about portfolio. Next week
mhm,
about resume and
mhm.
linking portfolio, linking optimization.
Optimization. Okay. I forgot to mention something,
Yeah.
but you find it in the slide. It's so I showed a bunch of portfolios that I really like, but there's a link to a GitHub that I included. I don't know how I skipped this in the presentation, but there's a link in the presentation. I'm just going to share my screen again.
Yes.
Just
Okay. You let
one
me
more.
know. Oh yes, I share.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now.
Let me see. Okay, I got it.
Okay, so it's just here. Yes, so there's a link to a GitHub that has a bunch of portfolios from different
Love
people.
it.
So you can draw inspiration from so many different people.
What? So many. Wow,
So
that's so
many different
cool.
people. So you can incorporate different inspiration, mix, match, everything possible. So yeah, I'm also naturally going to share this with you and then
Yes.
yeah,
Love it. Thank you so much.
you're
Uh
welcome.
yes, this was great. You did
I,
amazing.
thank you.
Definitely have you again.
Yeah.
So yes, just
It was
wait
very
for
nice.
my
I
invite.
enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much. It was very nice seeing you again. Bye.
Yeah, thank you everybody. Have a great day, great Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.